We are staying on top of breaking news tonight. Phoenix Fire trying to put out a huge fire that you see here at a railroad yard. The AZ Family News chopper overhead. This is near 19th Avenue and Fillmore Street, just south of the Stack transition. Here's another vantage point from our ADOT camera, the I-17s. You can see that fire is huge. And joining us now on the phone is Captain Todd Keller with Phoenix Fire. Can you hear me, Captain?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you tell us exactly what is on fire here?
Yeah, so firefighters got dispatched a little bit before 9:30 p.m. tonight for reports of a fire near 19th Avenue and Fillmore. At that time, crews arrived and found a large pile of railroad ties on fire.
Is this any kind of hazmat type situation? Any evacuations or injuries?
Yes, absolutely. So we are currently at a second alarm hazmat incident because there are railroad cars that are lined up right near here. Until we can get contact with RPs on scene and identify what is in those railroad cars, this will be a hazmat.
Can you tell us what is around there? I mean, obviously, if people are headed to that area, they're going to have to detour big time. We're talking about 19th Avenue and Fillmore. What's in that area for people who don't know?
So it's a lot of commercial, industrial area, but I can tell you that as command got on scene, they asked for DPS to shut down east and westbound lanes of the I-10.
You know, we've had a number of other fires at different kind of like recycling facilities in this area. Our meteorologists are telling us the winds have died down, thankfully, tonight. But is there any risk of sparks from this flying around to neighboring businesses? Is that a concern?
Right now, where the fire is moving, it is moving east, but winds are below 5 miles per hour. So it is not an issue right now. And like I said, this is industrial area, a lot of commercial area. So we hope that those winds do stay low so this does not reach those residential homes that are near this railroad yard.
And, you know, we're watching this fire live, obviously, Captain, and this is a hot fire still. You know, we don't see the smoke like we usually see when the firefighters are on top of this. Is there any risk also of anything exploding here? We've seen that happen before.
So I can tell you right now that we are talking to RPs on scene to find out exactly what is in those railroad cars. We are in a defensive posture, so we are going to be setting up our ladder pipes and using what we call a big water operation and kind of just going to do a surround and drown on this large incident.
And this is kind of, as we said, near the I-10, I-17, the stack as we call it. Because we're looking at live pictures from our helicopter, it's tough to see exactly how high those flames are leaping, but it looks explosive. I mean, are the flames higher than where the freeway sits? I mean, is it that high?
So I can tell you that it is not that high, but due to the large amount of smoke, we did ask for those freeway directions to be shut down. And like I said, until we can identify what is actually in those railroad cars, we are going to definitely take our time in this and play it safe.
Captain Todd Keller with Phoenix Fire. You got your hands full tonight. We will stay in touch with you to keep our viewers abreast of what's going on out there. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Let's check in with Scene, because Scene, I know you've been mapping kind of where this is. You've got a better look for us to orient us where this is burning, right? Down near the stack?
Exactly. When Captain Todd was talking RPs, he's talking about railroad personnel. So he's wanting the fire department to get in contact, or they've been in desperate need to get in contact with the local railroad companies there to try to figure out exactly what he was saying. They've got some parked railroad cars very nearby that it could turn into a hazardous situation. Remember, railroad ties, they're treated with creosote. That keeps them waterproof. It keeps them from really kind of disintegrating out there in the elements. All around some of the older neighborhoods here in Phoenix, there's a lot of railroad tie flower beds and things like that. And you see when they dry out in the sun, they become very brittle, right? And now think about a large pile of those now old railroad timbers. And that's why this is such an inferno that it's going up in such a good blaze. A couple of good things from Captain Todd, what he was telling us about. He was talking about the winds. Right now, generally 5 miles an hour or less. So that means that plume is going a little bit straight up in the air. He says the fire was growing to the east. I'm going to show it to you on map. So Manny, let's go here to our weather computer, and I'm going to show you what's going on. Just to orient you, here is the state capitol complex. There's Van Buren, there's Jefferson Street, downtown Phoenix Suns Arena. It's over back behind my right shoulder. Let me get you over to that fire zone. It's over near that huge cemetery that you see if you take the truck loop, which is known as the truck loop on I-10. This will hook you up eventually to the I-17 stack, which is right up here off the screen. This is what I believe is where the fire zone is. And here's those railroad cars that are parked. All of this industrial area, lots of different piles of things, but those railroad cars are over in this area. They don't want this fire to increase to the east and maybe possibly try to affect some of those parked railroad. He said the winds are less than about 5 to 8 miles an hour, and that would put that smoke plume over near 22nd Avenue, up near Grand Avenue, McDowell, Roosevelt Row. And if it is those railroad ties soaked in creosote, again, for that waterproof measure, you're going to smell like burning tar. I'll stop here, Yetta and Jared, and show you that that's the good news right now. Generally, vicinity, the winds are around 5 miles an hour, but if you're in that neighborhood, you're probably smelling that tar-like substance, and that's coming from this railroad tie fire.
Before we let you go, real quickly, this just in from ADOT. The I-10's totally closed both directions right now.
Okay.
From 7th Avenue. Eastbound traffic has to exit all the way at 43rd Avenue. Westbound traffic has to exit at 7th Avenue, so the entire 10 is closed through downtown. Untold how long this is going to take to get under control. We don't have any idea when the 10 might reopen, but you could see a total lack of traffic there right now.
And we should tell people that are watching this, if you've got friends at the Suns Arena with the Sun getting out, Suns game getting out right now, hit them on their cell phone and tell them that exact thing, that these freeways are now closed due to this fire, because that's going to be a mess trying to get out of the downtown area.
All those folks exiting the arena will see this fire.
Right, exactly.
Which is crazy.